Here we go again. I feel like every single year I make the same mistake. I give Swatch too much money and I buy another MoonSwatch or a Blancpain swatch. But I've bought another MoonSwatch and I really need you guys not to judge me. And you need to hear me out here. So last weekend I bought the MoonSwatch Mission on Earth Polar Lights and I'm actually really liking it. I know it's more in vogue to hate on these and I completely understand the critiques people have. And I used to have the exact same critiques. This is by no means the perfect watch. I'm gonna do my best to give a balanced and fair review because there's a lot to dislike about the MoonSwatch. But buying this one specifically has been a friendly reminder on how important these are, not just for Swatch, but for the watch industry at large, and has reminded me that I can sometimes maybe be an elitist, gatekeeping asshole. If you're new here, my name is Brittany, and this channel has really just become the place where I've been documenting my watch collecting journey over these past 3-ish years. Now, this purchase was unexpected for me. This was not on my to-buy list. But my best friend Josh lives up in Scotland, and he wanted to pop into Swatch to get himself a Snoopy MoonSwatch. Or Mission to Moon phase, I should say, as a professional. He asked for my advice. I said, absolutely freaking get it. It's probably my favorite of the MoonSwatches, and they're just adorable and fun. You should get it. But then he saw this, and it was newer, and the FOMO started to kick in, so he bought this instead, the Polar Lights instead of the Snoopy, and on the train back to Bristol, he started having some real buyer's remorse. When we met at the pub later on, he was saying he didn't really like this, and he let me try it on, and I quite liked it. So I asked if he'd sell it to me at retail. He said, go on then. And now I own this. Looking at the specifications, the Mission on Earth models are exactly the same as the pre-existing MoonSwatch models, with a case diameter of 42mm, a thickness of 13.75mm, and a lug-to-lug of 47.3mm. I always find the wearing experience almost jarring because the case proportions are exactly the same as the Speedmaster, and it kinda has the presence of the Speedmaster, but just really light and weird and colorful. So here this one is on my 5.5-inch wrist versus my husband's 7-inch wrist. As always, the size, the proportions, it looks much better on him. Just right on him. But I kinda like the oversized proportions on me. It only adds to the fun. These have a case material of bioceramic, which is Swatch speak for plastic, 30 meters of water resistance, and powering this watch is a quartz chronograph movement. It has all the design features of the Speedmaster, with the lyre lugs, 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock chronograph pushers, baton hands, and the tachymeter bezel. Aesthetically, I really like these. I know this puts me in the minority in the watch collecting world, but I just think it's such a fun interpretation of the Omega Speedmaster Moonwatch. So that's what's the same. What makes these Mission on Earth watches so different is the colors. So there were 3 colors released in this series, all representing natural phenomena on Earth that can be seen from space. So lava, polar lights, and desert. The desert is the most subdued of the 3, and my 2 favorites right away were the lava and the polar lights. But the polar lights particularly stood out to me for having the sparkly faux Aventurine dial. If you're a bit newer to watches, an Aventurine dial looks like it has the night sky and stars on it using a natural stone called Aventurine. Higher end watch brands achieve this using natural Aventurine quartz, but the more affordable way to do it is through glass that has been infused with flakes of copper oxide. Swatch doesn't specify what material this one uses. They only say it features a dark blue dial with tiny silver colored sparkles inspired by Aventurine glass dials, so who knows? The Aventurine element is a lot more subdued than it looks in pictures. In fact, it is quite easy to miss unless you're in the right lighting. It's still an element that I like, I just wish it was a wee bit more noticeable. I'll try my best to capture it here, capture it accurately to give you guys a good idea of what it looks like. Whatever footage I put up here will be the most accurate to real life. So I've been describing these Mission on Earth models as the normal MoonSwatches, but if they really committed to the color. This one really freaking commits to the turquoise with the case, hands, subdial hands, tachymeter, even the contrast stitching on the strap, and I love it. I'm here for it. I think these are the boldest MoonSwatches you can get, and this will be something that some people love and some people hate. That's actually one of the reasons Josh didn't bond with it. He just found it too bold for his tastes. And this kind of leads me nicely to my complicated, ever-changing feelings about the MoonSwatch. I think I've been on the same journey that a lot of people have been on. When these were first unveiled in 2021, I was so excited, I was all about it. I thought they were quirky, cheerful, a weird Swatch interpretation. But then it just became silly with the hype, unavailability, people camping out to get these, people getting in fights in the lines and Swatch stores having to close down. And it just became not fun, and that solidified me as a hater. But you know, talking to Josh, as he's been shopping for one of these and trying to pick out the right one for him, has really helped me see these through his eyes. It's helped me see these through new and fresh eyes, and it has softened my stance on the MoonSwatch. Josh was saying this was great, but it's a pretty expensive purchase for him, and a Speedmaster isn't really in the cards for him right now, so the Snoopy kind of feels perfect for him. He can wear it every day, it's still a MoonSwatch, he likes how fun and whimsical it is, but it's not the color commitment like the Polar Lights is. He said the colorful ones are great if you have a watch collection or maybe some other watches, and you want something just for fun. But that's not really him or the position he's in. He wants one he can easily wear, but still captures the moment of the MoonSwatch. Even as we were sitting in the pub and he was telling me why the Polar Lights wasn't for him, he was asking me, how do the buttons work? And what do the buttons do? What do those subdials mean? What are the numbers along the bezel? And it was actually really lovely getting to share in this thing that I'm really passionate about with one of my closest friends and seeing him be like, ooh, that's kind of cool. I kind of like this. The magic of pushing buttons and watching the hands stop and start and move around. Boy, I'm a very simple creature, but it is so fulfilling. And it was a friendly reminder on why Swatch made these. I know in the watch enthusiast community, the echo chamber narrative is,
oh, this is a toy watch. Who would ever buy a plastic watch? Couldn't be me. Blah, blah, blah.
But when you get outside our tiny little world, which really represents a minority of people buying watches, these are getting new and different people into watches who otherwise wouldn't have ever been into it. And that's awesome. Is there better value propositions out there? You bet. But the Orient Bambino and these different Seiko watches have existed for a while now, and they certainly weren't getting any of my friends into watches. Oosh, is that too harsh to say? No, it's not, because it needs to be said. It's all right, and it's all good if it got you into watches. The MoonSwatch has captured different people in a different moment in a way I feel is important. I think we, the watch enthusiast community, are quick to be harsh, and our standards are so tough that we can't see the forest for the trees. Yes, it is a quartz watch that is overpriced, it's plastic, and Adrian's chronograph pusher fell off. But you can't help what people like and what makes people excited. It's kind of like craving Domino's pizza, but then your partner says, yeah, but we have chicken and veg at home, which is nicer, healthier, it's better value because we've already bought it. But it's like, yeah, but babes, I want Domino's. Even look at this. This is a text my husband got from one of our friends. It's actually Josh's girlfriend. He bought her the Mission to Jupiter, and this is what she texted. I think I'm a watch collector now. And you know, she was one of those people who was kind of like, I don't know about this watch stuff. This is a bit silly. But it's an entry point in. And for some people, it might be the first piece where they're kind of like, ooh, I could see myself getting another watch now. This is what the MoonSwatch is doing, and I'm here for it. And this whole experience has helped me see this through their eyes. And it's been nice. Anyways, that concludes my little sermon on why I kind of love the MoonSwatch now and why my heart is melting and softening towards them. I feel like I still have more to say. The price I don't find as atrocious as I used to. Even the strap has kind of grown on me, so I feel like I do have more to say if you guys want to keep talking MoonSwatch, but I totally understand if you don't, because there's so many videos out there. So let me know if you want more MoonSwatch. I can make it happen. If you say, please no more, I will not make a video happen. Josh, thank you so much for letting me buy this at retail from you. You know you could have flipped it, and it was very kind of you to show mercy on a watch gremlin like me, so thank you so much. And now let's thank the gorgeous, fabulous, wonderful Pope tier patrons. What should we do today, Pope Tier patrons? Do we sing? Do we dance? Do we just talk? I think we sing. Thank you, Pope Tier patrons. See the names on the screen. They're the fabulous, amazing Pope Tier patrons. Thank you all, tier patrons, but namely the Pope Tier ones, especially newest Pope Tier patrons, whose names will be here, I think. I hope. Thank you to all the names on the screen. Thank you all, tier patrons. Bye, guys.
Ooh, let's get my pregnant belly up.
Look at me. I'm massive.